Welcome everyone. This live session, we have the 10 best places to meet quality younger women and a Q&A for men over 40. So we're going to share with you in this live what will help you meet a girlfriend of high quality, who's beautiful, and it's going to make it way easier for you to do this than ever before. This is so important in the current day and age. When dating apps are just no longer working and everyone's working, shopping, and just doing so much more from home, which makes it ever more challenging to meet a potential girlfriend. So why should you believe me? Well, for anyone new here, I'm Tess. I'm the head female trainer at Social Coach. Since 2006, we've been sending our team of model female coaches on dates with our clients, first on Zoom and then in real life. So we give them brutally honest feedback from the female perspective on what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and exactly what you need to do step by step to improve your success with women dramatically. We'll share a bunch of examples to prove this to you a little bit later on, but we'll just get stuck in straight away. So, hey guys, welcome again. And I'll say hi to some of our regulars in just a moment, but let's get straight stuck into point number one, which is the first place. Let's see if I can get this up. Communal tables. So communal tables, if you're able to spend time working remotely, this could be one of the greatest dating tips you get in your life. If you have flexible working hours and are able to spend time in communal tables in the kinds of places that the kind of women you want to attract are, this could be awesome for you. So the great thing about communal tables is they are set up to be communal. So basically you're set up for success. You're not being intrusive by joining a woman at a communal table, because that is what they are meant for. She would never have a barrier up when you come to introduce yourself. Whereas, at a more private table, if you kind of sat down with her, she'd immediately be like, who are you? Whereas at a communal table, it's there would be absolutely none of that. So that's your first advantage of meeting a woman at a communal table. They're meant to be shared. Also, there are lots of options for positioning around the table. So generally speaking, communal tables are larger tables. So you've got, you can choose which is going to be the best positioning for you to be able to actually engage with that woman. And there are some different aspects which contribute to your choice there, but basically you have a lot of choice. So you can make a quick plan to see what's going to work best for you. And other than that, generally places with communal tables like cafes or sometimes like cafe bookstores, that sort of thing. They've got a lot of stimulus to work with in that setting, which helps the conversation a lot, especially with that, initial breaking the ice part, but also just as the conversation goes as well. You can always comment on, bring in, the menu or the surroundings to help the conversation flow smoothly. So those are a bunch of, the first big advantages of communal tables. I'll just welcome James. He's going to be joining me in a second, and to give you a little bit more on that.
Hey guys, how you doing? Didn't get enough haircut. Hey Tess, thanks for that. Communal tables are one of my all-time favorites. It's it's unbelievable how easy they are. If you dress well and you've got conversation skills, you read signals a little bit. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable how easy they are. It really is an oasis for much higher quality younger women who, might not necessarily talk to a guy, certainly my age, if I came up to them, certainly a nightclub or places like that. But the thing is, you can go bespoke for what you. If you want super healthy girls, it could be some table at a large gym, and many of them have that. Just use their internet. If you like smart girls, a library or a bookstore cafe is just heaven. I'll probably say later on, if I died and went to heaven in my 30s, heaven would be Barnes and Noble, Union Square, New York, at least before the pickup artists ruined it. Possibly all the homeless people have compromised it some more. There's another bookstore, all the hot girls. If you want an educated professional woman, then go to a cafe in the central business district area. It's just so easy. I should have said this at the start. Are you able to take your work and do it remotely? If that's the case with you, I mean, this could be one of the greatest dating tips you've ever had. So many of our clients who can do a day out or even an afternoon out and just take their top or whatever to the right cafe, which we'll tell you about how to find out later. You can't just go to any cafe and expect you're going to meet your wife there or mother of your children. But if you do it strategically, which is part of what tonight's about, a large part of what's tonight about, it's pretty easy. So yeah, you just take your work and you just go sit somewhere. I literally stopped. Anyway, we'll get straight into content. Why is it so good? It's, you got pickup artists, you got street approaches, you've got dating apps, you've got chasing them down at shopping centers or streets or bars or clubs or whatever else. Here, it's just they're sitting opposite you. They're sitting over there. If you dress well and hold eye contact a bit and you got some reading signal skills, they'll often come and sit down beside you just so you talk to them. It's so freaking easy. It's so freaking easy. So I'm looking like even more of an old man here with my glasses. Women hang around for hours, often the whole day, working, reading, chatting, drinking tea, drinking coffee, or if that's your genre of girls, recovering from a grueling day of shopping on their feet, trying on shoes and dresses. So you do get a lot of hot girls in upmarket shopping districts who, it'd be very, very easy to sit down at one of those communal tables. There probably won't be a guy there. If he is, he's probably... And just take advantage of them. That's not my thing at all. I'd be at the cafe near the bookstore. I mean, in 2025, when pretty much every guy is just checked out of dating apps don't work, bars are shutting down. I mean, so many women are actually spending their time there hoping to meet someone special because there's not many options we have really left to meet people in the real world. And got to do the what you get tonight thing. We'll probably do that after communal tables. From memory, we give you the top 10 mistake. We should do it with the slides anyway. I think Tess covered this. It's a really relaxed vibe. It's just like, it's just like, well, there's a stranger. I'll just give you some openers. I can give you way more. I've got a whole huge list that we will teach on our boot camps. Well, what's that you're reading? I get laid from this stuff, seriously. Good girls. Is that the new MacBook? Or is that the new iPhone? Or, I mean, it sounds so freaking lame. How's the Android phone? I love iPhones, but they pump 3 or 4 times more radiation into your skull than Android. So I'm thinking about swapping. I mean, I've got laid from this. So what's it like reading on a Kindle? Like any girl I see with a Kindle, let alone if I see a hot girl on the beach with a book and I've got time to pursue her, it's just like, I don't know, it's so easy. Again, you don't need to be into reading or into yoga or into anything. You just got to figure out where are the girls you want and go where they go after you preferably learn some skills. Cafe, restaurant. Hey, I'm here. What's the healthiest dish on the menu? What food do you recommend? That looks really good. What's that called? I mean, there's so many of them are so obvious. Hey, do you by chance know where the bathroom is? it's just, I mean, people go, oh, you're so lame. You don't get to sleep with girls saying stupid stuff like this, but you do. If you can follow through with good questions and whatever the reading signals and that sort of thing. Probably the words that maybe got me more sex and more quality women than anything else. This is me. It's not about me. I'm just giving you examples of me, and then you can do what you really want to. Oh, so tell me, what was the last great book you read? I mean, yeah, I've been walking down the street in 50, 60 countries of the world, maybe not that many, certainly a lot, because I've been to over 100. And I'll stop some tall, thin, healthy-looking girl. I shouldn't give all this away on YouTube for free. People will be copying me soon, like it always happens. I was wondering, do you know where I can get some healthy food here? Yeah, I mean that worked for me so many times. Again, you got to substitute what I'm telling you for what you're into. If you don't care about what you eat, you probably wouldn't ask for healthy food, because then you won't seem very genuine when she gives you her answer. Like we take guys to bookstores. We take guys, particularly the guys who want to, and yeah, we sometimes we take guys who've never read a book for years, and my openers in that situation don't work anywhere near as well as a guy who really loves reading. Yeah, it's just so powerful. For me, if I come across a really attractive girl who's reading literature or philosophy, at least when I was pretty promiscuous, in a bookstore, I'd probably start taking chance of certainly dating her and probably sleeping with her. When you start laser targeting the women you want and actually think about it, there's so many guys. We coach guys worth 10 million, 100 million a few times, even a couple of billionaires, and they put all this thought and planning and strategic thinking into what they do with their business or who they hire or what they do. And some guys do that with their health or their hobbies, with their jiu-jitsu or their basketball doing. But then they just end up marrying the hottest girl who lands on their dick. It's just crazy. You got to think this through. It's arguably the biggest area of life, because you can be very successful in life but have a toxic woman attached to you, and you can be miserable beyond the dreams of anything. I've had a lot of really amazing guys say, oh yeah, when I was going through that, I seriously thought about killing myself for the first time in many years. So yeah, I'm giving you some of my tips. You got to sort of but yeah, I mean, if I'm sitting at a bookstore cafe, you can see I'm pretty passionate about the subject, because it's got me girls I couldn't even dream of getting with what I've got to offer. Yeah, well, I mean, I've just seen a girl at a cafe and it's like, oh, is that a sociology textbook? Isn't it the study of how humans interact and society changes or something? Yeah, tell me more about sociology. And yeah, it's dates and sex or or I don't know, podiatry or whatever the hell she's reading. Just ask her about it. Hope this is really valuable. Yeah, you've got to just figure out what you're interested in, and then use our sort of conversation system method, step-by-step system, and then figure out the questions you need to ask for girls you're interested in. I mean, if you're into golf, and there's a lot of hot girls playing gold diggers, in many cases. I mean, you might just ask her about her swing, or, where'd you learn to get a swing like that? Or tell me about those new ping clubs. I know virtually nothing about golf. I haven't played it since I was 18 or something. So yeah, this is so huge. Let me see. Yeah, another great one, another absolute humdinger. I think that's an American expression. I've used this everywhere, bookstores, shopping center, anywhere. It's a fantastic one. And I do it genuinely. It's like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I'm just going to grab a cup of tea. I'm just going to order some more food. I'm just going to have to take this call where people can't hear my booming voice. Some excuse. Could you just watch my stuff, please? And then this is the ninja trick. You look her in the eyes when you ask, and she's like, okay. And she keeps looking at you. You're like, oh, okay. So many times I've, gone for my swim or gone to the bathroom, whatever it was I did, and I come back and go, oh, thank you so much for that. And if I can see she holds my eye contact, I say, yeah, it sounds silly, but sometimes, I haven't said this for years, I'd go, oh, some researchers did a study, and apparently if you actually ask a stranger to watch something for you, 9 times out of 10 they intervene. Whereas in our sort of screwed up Western countries where there's no community, no closeness, if you don't ask the stranger to intervene, it's only, I can't remember the exact stats, I'm not going to lie, but it's only like 1 time out of 10 or 2 times out of 10 or something. So yeah, but I mean, again, it's I've got to be very careful what I say in this woke Me Too era where, you know, trying to kiss a girl without permission is some sort of crime. You've really got to know what you're doing. I should tell you now, but I watched a friend of mine who lives in one of the most expensive streets in Australia. Sorry. Basically, he did like low-level pickup artist stuff on a girl who was extremely bright. Her dad actually invented noise-canceling headphones for Bose. He didn't think that this might be a bit smarter. He didn't think to consider that this girl might be a bit smarter than the sort of party girls he usually sleeps with, and after he's filled them full of drugs. And yeah, she just completely humiliated him in a place that, I mean, it was entertaining, but it was painful watching. I can't remember watching a debate where someone got annihilated this badly. Again, social coach is a coach that's teaching you how to, particularly men over 40, how to date really high quality women, often much younger. You know, we have many of our clients who slept with 50 girls in a year, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to get you high quality women. So some of you might say, oh, you know, I've slept with a bunch of good something, or I hit them up on Instagram and get lots of sex, or, you know, I've had tons of sex in bars. I mean, so have I. But yeah, we're trying to give you high quality women. Got a bunch of stories that will really, really help. Yeah, basically, I've been in a situation in several places, particularly a cafe bookstore in the place I lived for years, where the staff are just atrocious to me because whatever, I've through so many of their customers, which is kind of funny. Again, I might throw to Tess on everything I've said very soon. Trendy locations near yoga studios, university, central business districts. I mean, if you want the hottest girls, fashion stores are insane. Go to like a fairly expensive woman's shoe store. Any city you go to in the world, go store in a trendy, maybe slightly affluent location, find a cafe where you can just watch the girls in and out, and yeah, it's the next best thing to being in front of a modeling agency. Tess, I might shut up for a bit. What do you have to contribute to this?
Yeah, James, thanks. I think obviously, yeah, the location is really important as well, and you have to think about the type of women that you might be attracted to, or the kind of women you're looking for in your life. You know, if you're, as James said, if you're in a cafe bookstore, you're really into books and literature like James is, that's going to be perfect for you. If you're a foodie, you know, just a cafe or a health food cafe, if you're into health as well, healthy food. So that just helps when you're actually speaking to the woman, because when you have those similar interests, the conversation is going to flow a lot smoother, and it's going to be a lot more natural. You're not just you know, in a bookstore trying to talk about books when you don't read. So yeah, that's something really important to consider. And yeah, James, I think you gave a lot of really great suggestions for openers in each of those settings as well. So obviously, using your setting works the best for whatever setting that is. Obviously, when you're doing that, it's
Great.
The more relatable it is for the woman, the less she's going to be questioning why you're asking these questions, and she's just going to feel comfortable talking to you and answering, because when you're pointing out something in your setting, it's you're kind of almost pointing out a commonality between the two of you, in a sort of superficial way, and that just helps you build rapport quickly. Yeah.
Great. Tess is cutting out a bit. Is this if someone could tell me, Tess, Sorry, tech guy Joms, if you could tell me, is this my internet or is this her internet? Just so I know what I'm dealing with.
We have a couple of comments. Someone
You
says
need
James.
to reconnect, James.
Sorry?
I think you need to reconnect.
Me
Yeah.
I think.
or Tess?
Yeah, Jeff is saying, Tess, you're coming through clearly. James, audio is clear, but the picture is freezing up. So the audio is fine. It's just the quality of your camera, the image isn't great. Ralph says, I see you. It looks like you're underwater without swimming goggles on.
What? This has been my life. Is it really that bad?
It looks pretty low quality, your image.
Okay, I'll see if I can. So am I dropping out at all?
A little bit. Every now and then. It's not too bad, but every now and then the audio drops out slightly.
Okay, that's not good. Well, I probably. Sorry, guys. We might. Just let me. Tess, could you tell me honestly how bad is this? Is the picture? Is it like awful, or is it just a bit amateur?
It's not great.
I'll just. It's freezing.
Jesus
Christ.
I'll just, okay. Anyway,
I'll send you it. I'll send you what it looks like now.
Sorry about this, guys.
So you can see the difference in quality.
You sent it in Telegram?
Yeah, it's just coming through.
Okay. We might just Oh, by the way, we're not AI robots. This isn't AI. So yeah. We're really here, by the way. This is James. This is Tess. We're not some simulation. So I think that'd have made me a lot more attractive if it was a simulation, and I wouldn't have had this glaring light out the back. Okay, we might do a banner. Can you give me? Oh, I've just yes or no. Tess, if there's problems with my audio or my picture, just jump in and tell me there's a problem. I can connect and reconnect, but I don't really want to do that. So anyway, just a question for you guys. I can't see the comments because I lost a screen today. I got to buy a new one. If you're a beautiful girl, would you want to date yourself at 21 or even 31? Yes or no? Do you think okay? If you were 21, do you think would want to date you? Do you think you'd be a good boyfriend for her? Yes or no? Hypothetically, if you're 31, do you think a girl who's 30 would want to date you? Hypothetically, yes or no? Just give me some comments on that. That would be really good. There's such a lag. Even huge people who do live streams to millions of people get lags. So I might just jump on to number 2.
A few people have commented on that. No.
Any yeses?
No yeses yet.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All I can do is fucking drink those Crownies. This is Australia. Crown Lager was the yuppie beer du jour when I was in finance. I could drink those Crownies. I could dunk a basketball and bowl really quick and take some good marks. And I studied and worked. Other than that, I had nothing going for me. I watched a few films and occasionally read a book, like once in a lifetime, but that book was usually a business biography. Any hot girl, boring as batshit. Ticked a lot of boxes in terms of what society tells you, but I was boring as batshit unless we worked together or something. So anyway, I've crapped on enough. So can we have the pretty girl? If my screen's crap. So number 2 is yoga. This is another one of my personal favorites, and again, so easy. Maybe not as easy as communal tables, but pretty bloody easy. Is it possible to get Tess on the left? Tech guy. Tess, you're a fairly serious yogi, if that's okay to say.
Yeah.
You want to start off?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been doing yoga for 15 years maybe. And yeah, I think, James, for you as well, this makes sense. You're obviously really into yoga as well. So just want to highlight, it's maybe not the most amazing place to women if you're not actually into yoga or have some sort of genuine interest in it, because women will see straight through it if you're just going to yoga to try and pick up women and you have no idea what you're doing, and you just you feel out of place. So anyone who's into health and fitness and wants to try yoga, that would be great. Or before you want to just start introducing yourself to women there, you might want to do a couple of yoga classes first. But yoga, it can be great because when you do have that similar interest with a woman, there's so much to connect upon around yoga, because it's not just about exercise. It's about so much more than that, and anyone who does yoga would know that. And there are lots of different styles of yoga, lots of different sort of schools of thought in yoga, different styles of yoga in itself. So there's just so much to talk about and connect upon, create authentic connection around yoga, which is great. And obviously the kind of women who are generally into yoga are health and fitness, interested in health and fitness, but also interested in the other aspects of yoga, like spirituality and just work-life balance, that sort of thing. So all of those topics are great things to build deeper connection with women as well. So if you're into yoga, or if you haven't tried it before, but it's something you've thought you might like, give it a go. And the kind of women who are into yoga are usually really open as well to meeting new people. So yoga can be awesome. Not to mention potentially going on yoga retreats, which is amazing because you're spending a bunch of time extended, ongoing, like a few days with the same people, and you're often doing that in a new place, potentially in a new country as well, which is great for mindset. Generally when people are on holiday, they're a lot more open to meeting new people, open to new experiences, and engaging more fully with each other when you're actually in a retreat. So that's an awesome opportunity as well.
That's excellent, Tess. Thank you. Feel free to add anything I've got at the end. Again, it's just so ridiculously easy if you're genuine into yoga. Because a bit showing off here, I took my two girlfriends at the time to a yoga studio I use often. I got them to do Bikram, and they came out. Obviously, they were in the female change rooms. I was in the male, and they came out laughing their ass off. And they said, because I'm in the front of the studio, I don't actually sleep with girls in that studio. I've got a yoga studio where I'm serious about yoga, and I've got a yoga studio where the girls are hotter, and that's where I have my fun, potentially meet someone special. But anyway, we come out the one I use seriously, and just all these girls were talking about me. I'm just like, why? It might be because I'm a little bit social, and because I'm like dead in the front of the class, right beside the teacher, trying to see everything and get the best spot of mirror. So it's like women. Okay, YouTube short, whatever. I've got to start doing these. Women go to yoga to meet guys who do yoga. Women go to yoga to meet guys who do it yoga. Hot tip: Kama Sutra. Yogis do it better. Yogi women do it better. Yogi men do it way better. Honestly, I'm going to get on a high horse here. If you're over 40 and you're sort of going to the gym and you're running and you're watching your diet and you're not doing yoga, in my view, fool, idiot. It's just it's squeezing up your organs. It's just doing this amazing stuff for your body. Funnily enough, it's been around 10,000 years, unlike say pharmaceuticals or special machines to work this particular muscle, of which you can see I've got virtually none after being in a wheelchair for a while. Anyway, so ridiculously easy if you're generally into yoga. The thing, again, you got to go to not every single yoga, but lots of them, most of them. The biggest advantage is girls go there to meet guys, no doubt. unambiguous. No way it's not happening. And the only other guys at most of the studios I go to, I mean, there's some married guys who go there with their wife or girlfriend or partnered up guys. And then at the studios with all these hot women, you'll see the most hardcore players. You know, they've got the long hair and they've got the right, you know, beautiful, whatever, Lululemon outfit, and they've got incredible bodies. I mean, how hot some of these yoga gigolos are incredible. If you go to Ubud in Bali, it's full of the Ubud gigolo who just run through 30-something women like nothing else. Just full, you go, there's the Ubud guy. Dreadlocks, body that makes men's health cover model look stupid. I think I got a giggle out of test then. Yeah, I've hung out with some of them.
I know the type, definitely. I think the thing is that women get...
Other than Ubud, but Ubud's like, whatever, ground zero for the hot, hardcore player with the hot body who just runs through women like nobody's business.
Yeah, I think the thing is women...
I'm clearing my past life trauma. We should fuck. Sorry, that was worth the F word on YouTube. Yeah. A generational trauma. I'm meditating through it with some ayahuasca. It's just like, yeah, it's such a cliche, but these are hot guys.
Yeah, I think the thing is that women get excited when they see men who are genuinely interested in yoga because there aren't that many of them. And so, yeah, and that generally the guys who are super hot because they're really fit. So, yeah, when they, you know, but women get excited about men who have similar interests in any regard. So it's not just yoga. But yeah, yoga can work really well. And yeah, you do get those stereotypical like Ubud yoga gurus who I'm sure they do well with women who are on holiday in Ubud.
Holiday, they live there.
Yeah.
They can barely afford their condom bill, let alone eat. It's ridiculous, assuming they're practicing safe sex. Yeah, I mean, a really good friend of mine who messaged me today after a long time, because he's a traveler. I'm not going to make it up, but he had a friend who did like over. It was nearly a girl a day for a year. He was in Ubud, and when he wasn't in Ubud, he was in Kuta. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. That's not what I'm here for. That's probably not what you're here for. But yeah, I'm hammering home the point, hopefully slightly amusingly, that if you're not doing yoga from a dating perspective, you're crazy. I'm selling it pretty hard. I don't know how many 3-hour 300 more. 5 hours, I crossed that mark at least half a dozen times. I'm not lying. There's always two girls in the bed. But yeah, that's not Viagra. That's certain yoga poses, which I actually teach my clients. Anyway, let's get on to it. You dress the way we teach you. Dress well. Yeah, that's going to get you attention like you can't believe. Don't think you need this perfect like yoga gigolo body. Many women, as soon as they see some ridiculously hot guy at yoga, they go, yoga gigolo, not for me. I'm over 23. I've had 3 or 5 of you before, and I get my heart broken every time. And you always cheat on me, which they do. So yeah, just dress like you're a professional or a business owner. Don't try to act all yogi. Yeah, if you want healthy girls, if you want, slightly more mentally secure girls than average, yoga is crazy, because yoga is some of the best psychology. I don't go to psychologist, but yoga is some of the best psychology self-help you can ever do. I'm probably getting way above the YouTube audience here. The girls are way better in bed. The guys are dramatically better in bed. Let me assure you of that. You can high quality girls in the general population. I've slept with quite a few girls from yoga, and there wasn't in a place called Bondi Beach where yeah, I don't know what the annual sales of cocaine in Bondi are, at least a few years ago before it became completely gentrified, but it's a big number. But you don't get many of them going to a yoga studio. I'm not saying they've never done it, but it's not an every week thing. Absurd success there, including quite a few models. You get all the, I mean, I'm going on about it, but yeah, you get the sort of hippie girls who are much less materialistic, much less not in all cases, and they're just better people. I think they're much healthier and whatever. I'm crapping on. You're less likely to get smokers, drinkers, regular drugs, hallucinogenics. You'll get quite a few, but not all the other drugs. I mean, I didn't even know what's been so many, but I was in New York, and there was a staggeringly beautiful girl, and she just didn't care about me. It's New York City. There's so many men 100 times more alpha than me, but I've got something that other guys don't. At that stage, I had probably insane social networking skills because I was traveling full time. I just made friends with everyone. And, I wasn't in good shape then. I hadn't been to gym for ages. I was probably quite a bit overweight. Exercise. I was just traveling and eating crap. But yeah, simply because I got so much attention from the other girls who are sort of more, mid 30s or late 30s. And I talked to the teacher a bit. She suddenly decides after 4 classes that, she's a bit interested in me. And then I knew she was out of my league. But eventually one time she puts her mat down, then I come in, then I go sit there, and then she takes her mat and she puts it right. So anyway, whatever. There was literally a woman in the where you lay flat at the end, it's called corpse pose or savasana, who was like making little orgasm noises. She's like, she's probably trying to get my attention, or maybe she's just a Manhattan weirdo, crazy girl. So anyway, a few ways through the seated, the lying pose, I suddenly feel something touching my foot. And I go, I know what it is. And I'm not moving my foot 1 centimeter. So we sat there as a Manhattan sunset. You could see basically the sun coming through. It was that sublime sunset atmosphere. And this girl who paid no attention to me, we chatted for 20, 30 minutes, and we went and got a coffee. And yeah, so yeah, it can just be so easy. I could tell you many other stories. I've got so many of my clients to get started with yoga, and they thank me more for the health benefits. Had extraordinary success there. Okie dokie. We're meant to take questions after every point as well. So yeah, let's do it. Tess, do you have anything to share?
No, I think that was great, James. Like some interesting stories there. Yeah, as I said again, it just goes back to women. There aren't that many men who are really into yoga, so women get excited about that. Just keep that in mind, guys. The female to male ratio is definitely in your advantage there. Any questions around that, guys? Or we did miss the Q&A around the communal tables as well. So any questions about anything that's come up tonight?
Sorry to interrupt you, Tess.
That's right.
So if we could get your questions about communal tables and yoga, if you've got general questions, we'll look at them now, but we'll do general questions later through the whole intro. So yeah, it's basically top 10 mistakes, why the world's so difficult now, and how to get over that. And then Q&A on what we're talking about, and then general Q&A, whatever dating issues, whatever you want from us, we'll give you. So let me just get back to where we are.
Got a question from Ian?
I might just, unfortunately my screen broke just before when I was preparing for this, but yeah, I think this is going to be really, really valuable to you guys. Okay, you're a guy over 40, you're busy. You may have had some success already. You may have had a good relationship already. You may have been married already. You may have, focused on your career or not had much luck. Whatever situation you're in, excuse me 1 second. In 2025 is bordering on a scam for most men. I had the graph. Anyway, I printed out a graph of Match.com, and it's like that. I think it was 2016. It was a huge company. I think it's one of the people, if was it Luke on? He actually alerted me to this. I've also looked at Google searches for online dating and dating apps. It's like, I can't remember. We start at 2010, then we get to 2016, .com, and it reaches its peak. and then it just absolutely plummets. It absolutely plummets. So yeah, it's just not working. It was probably a scam then. Maybe Bumble was a tiny bit of an improvement from what I heard. But yeah, if you're spending your time on apps and you've got half a job, I just think it's batshit crazy. It's just the girls on dating apps are running an OnlyFans business. They are some sort of sex worker trying to get business. And then you might get some somewhat attractive single mother with a lot of surgery, with 4 kids of 3 different men, who's still on there, and then just women who really look 15 years older than their Photoshop pictures. It's an absolute. It's a scam. Plus, it's designed like a so that you get a little bit of hope, and maybe some girl messages you, or maybe a bot messages you, or maybe you actually get an agreement to a date, which may be a bot, or maybe you actually get a date. Then you get there and she's at least 10 years older than she claims. So I've never been on these things in my life. It just sounds absurd to me. So yeah, and the thing is, any girl who's half out of 10. Can't say that on YouTube. I'll have a bunch of guys come in jackboots and kick me out, 1984, George Orwell 1984 style. Any girl's like a 7.5 who puts up her best bikini shot on Instagram, she's just getting hammered and hammered and hammered and hammered by all these guys. Just hammered. Why would she ever go on a dating app? It'd be. Sorry, I've got to stop using silly words. It'd just be crazy for her. So yeah, anyway, dating apps, please don't spend time on that. You may you may be able to get I don't even think you can do that anymore. You may be able to get a bunch of sex from it, but really not much more than that. A lot of guys go to bars where you can see sport on TV. It's basically a waste of time. It's just basically a waste of time. And yeah, pretty much any guy who's hanging out at 12:30 in a nightclub is either extremely lonely or desperate or some aging wannabe gigolo. So, I mean, girls aren't really interested in that. Even in the cool bars, and there are some good bars, particularly if you get the after work crowd in the Central Business District, I can actually enjoy approaching girls there. We do that on boot camps. You're competing against all the hot guys, the cute barmen, many of whom have pretty not all of them these days, even the glassy, especially the bouncer, the DJ, the bar owner, all the bar owners' friends, the promoters. So you've got to go in there and somehow beat them, assuming you've got some friends who are actually good with women, which is almost mission critical, assuming you've got the guts to approach. So I'm not saying they don't work. I've met a handful of decent girls at the bars. I've met a lot of girls that, whatever, led to bedrooms. But yeah, it's a long time, in my view, to meet someone pretty special. Having said that, the right bar is a fantastic training ground to get your skills up fast and get some dates lined up. We're trying to encourage our clients to get wings and go out there, just maybe for 2 months to actually get a high skill set. And yeah, then work. I mean, I should re-Google or re-IO these stats. What was it? I mean, virtually no one meets through work now. The guy will end up in jail, or if he's lucky, he'll end up in court and then out of his career. So no one meets at work anymore. I think it was like 30 or 35% of professionals, at least in the US, met in the workplace. That might have been the 80s or the 90s, I'd have to know. Friends and family is dangerous. If you're introduced to someone who's very close to you, who'll be at family barbecues and Christmases, and the relationship doesn't work out, it can be a nightmare. If you're a guy with some skill and you date your friend's sister for a time, and then you decide you want to dump her, you can get a lot of blowback from it. I just literally never, ever do it. The YouTube style aggressive cold approach, for if you've got a lot of skill, can work and can get you sex, but the girl's just like, what are you doing running around in your 40s just talking to girls like this? It'll take you a long time to meet quality women. And Tess, you might talk about, and Tess, the sort of YouTube style pick up on you.
Sorry, just cut out there. I think you were asking me how would I react if someone used a pickup artist style method for trying to speak to me? Is that correct?
You're just walking down the street and some guy comes up and goes, "Oh, you're really cute. I just came over to say hi." He's not got a weird energy or anything, but he just interrupts you. "Oh, you're so sweet." One to ask. I should ask Jackie.
No. I mean, anytime a guy says, "Oh, you're really cute. I want to say hi," it just comes across as creepy immediately. I'm like, well, you've obviously been checking me out. I'm like a little bit like, who are you? You know nothing about me. And I think for beautiful women, they hear that you're so beautiful. Oh, you're really cute, or whatever. They hear that all the time, so it actually becomes meaningless. So it's just basically it can cause a woman, and it would cause me to have a barrier up straight away. Unless yes, it might be different for a woman who never gets those kind of compliments, and you're the one person who's ever said you think she looks cute. Then she's like, oh wow, this person thinks I'm cute. She might like that, but for someone who hears it all the time, it can actually just be, it's just meaningless, and sometimes it can even be annoying because women, they just want you to see beyond that.
Yeah, Tess was completely the wrong person to ask that question to. Some of the female coaches I've hired, including some on the YouTube channel, a tiny little YouTube channel. Oh, please, what is it like? Subscribe, hit the bell. Tech guy, if you could chuck the link in, that would be a huge favor for us. The more subscribers and views we get, the more of these we do, and the better. That would be a huge favor. It should be in the whatever. Anyone watching in replay, if they're below, that'd be super helpful. I heard an interview with, like, by far and away the most famous sort of aggressive street approach guy ever. And he was like, he could walk into any modeling agency in the world and probably get work. Maybe not the very highest level ones, but pretty much anyone. And he admitted 10 years later that the girls he actually got in bed were mostly pretty not girls he ever wanted to date, which might be good if you're in your 20s or 30s and you want to run through a whole bunch of women, because that's what guys do at that stage, certainly the 20s. But if you're in your 40s and potentially looking for someone you can spend your life with, or even someone you can spend a few weeks with happily, it might not be the best thing. And there's obviously the legal consequences. A guy in Glasgow literally got jailed out of that, doing that. Okay. So I think where are we? I'm just gonna answer a question that many of you might be asking. I certainly would be if I was on one of these things. I'm just trying to get my tech right with just one screen, which is like quite stressful for this old silly dude. Okay, he's doing pretty well so far. Okay, can someone see a picture of a man with... No, you can't, because I haven't... Uh-oh, what have I done wrong? Okay, shouldn't be too far away. Can someone see hopefully me in the corner with a slide up? Tess? Hello? Hello? Tess?
There we go. We've got you, James.
Okay, great. Thank you. I've got to do something about this internet. I'm not. Yeah, it's been okay recently. Anyway, why listen to me? I was literally a 27-year-old virgin. In reality, more like a 31-year-old virgin, given how ridiculous my first experience was. I was skinny. I had a big nose. I had a horrific childhood. I was bullied at home. I was bullied at school. I was, in some ways lucky to make it through my childhood. I'm not commenting politically on that. I've got views I won't share now. So I followed the mantra many of my clients followed. No, really followed it. If you build it, she'll come. If you get the muscles, the German car, the Swiss watch, you go to the gym, eat lots of protein, and get the body, the women will just come in droves. Now, at the most extreme levels, that is probably true, but they're generally the wrong women. You got to be a man like every other mammal that I'm aware of and go out and do this yourself if you want any sort of happiness and So I 3 degrees, worked my guts off, really had no life up until my 30s. But I became an extremely highly paid financial advisor. And yeah, I still couldn't get a girlfriend. I still literally couldn't get a girlfriend. Sure, there were girls at work who were interested in me, but that was just not me. That was, what I was earning every month. So I followed a guy who really took me from a pretty poor upbringing by Australian standards to doing better than anyone I knew. If you want to achieve the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. I'm doing this in the wrong order, but anyway. So yeah, 18 months after I essentially lost my virginity, I had the second girl I ever slept with. I met this girl who was, for a time, a fly around the world model. Then she got 2 degrees, complete angel, still friends 20 years later. You can see I messaged her for her birthday and got 8 replies back. Completely changed my life. I owe that you, because I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't met her and been inspired to actually do something good rather than move money around for people. Yeah, so after the heartbreak there, I basically was hollow inside, as pain I've never really experienced before, even in my childhood. So yeah, I just had to fix this problem, and I basically just learned to get good with women. I did it by meeting mentors from a number of countries and ended up with girls from 33 countries, 50, 60 different cities. And a bunch of them were actually models. 1 or 2 of these girls are pretty big time fly around the world models. And yeah, one of the models I got the attention of second or third most famous dating coach in the world now. Yeah, I got offered a job, and yeah, I started traveling around the world, and I did what every other guy did. I took a bunch of guys out and demonstrated in bars. I always streets wherever we did it, and then basically said to them, "Oh, go approach," after a little session, and gave them a few openers and a few tips about women, and it worked really well. I completely transformed many guys, but I knew in my heart I could do better. So at the time, I was lucky enough to have 2 girlfriends to myself who were also dating each other, and yeah, I just started using them as whatever the guys had practiced everything I was teaching them on my girlfriends before I'd take them out. Which was just completely revolutionary what it did for my clients. And yeah, I had 2 girlfriends for 5 years, several different ones. The one on the far left is was a fly around the world elite model. It's amazing how much a girl's body changes between 22 and 26. Anyway, and yeah, so they were the main ones. And yeah, we Airbnbs and parks and hiking and waterfalls and more parks at night. And I tend on for me. It helps get a good girl. And yeah, the beaches, zoos, SeaWorld, lots of silly pictures in bed. That's a slightly better picture of the former Flow and Elite model. And yeah, I traveled around the country with them and did seminars and brought them on my boot camps, and it worked amazingly for my clients. Not too bad for marketing, at least at the seminar. And we got revolutionary results for clients. I might just skip this one. Tons of guys from all over the world got on TV a bunch of times. I didn't want to do that anymore after whatever the Harvey Weinstein scandal, just in case they find something I said that doesn't fit the current political mood. And I probably said a few things. And yeah, sorry for the Americans, this is one of the most famous TV people in Australia. He said, "Great dating tips, sensational. Australia's very unhitched." And Cosmopolitan, which was really pleasing for me, said illuminating. And yeah, probably the most important compliment of all is the guy who runs a 21 convention. Basically, I don't know how you want to interpret this, but he called me the Steve Jobs of dating coaches, as in the Apple, the best, the most perfect, blah, 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 largely because of my attention to detail and student results. And he knows every single dating coach for the last few years. Unfortunately, his channel, he decided to go very, very red pill, following a very, very toxic woman, and the channel got destroyed. That 20 million if it wasn't for that. It was getting 50,000 a month. Anyway, Malcolm Gladwell says it takes 10,000 hours to get to genius. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but yeah, I've certainly done my 10 or 20,000 hours. I need to do the maths. This is what I've done with the last 19 years of my life. Sat and watched clients, firstly in the classroom, approach my female coaches, Tess, Natalia, etc., and that sort of thing. And then, yeah, since you go on dates, sometimes the girls take them out to bars, bookstores, streets, occasionally festivals, and what you practice with the girls in the classroom, you do in the real world. And then we break down everything you did right and everything you did wrong with the coaches, and you're a team of hot girls tearing you apart. So crazy, stupid results. I think I shared these before, but dorky guy, 3 lots of threesomes in 3 months, approach coach, horrible life, toxic women, or most of the time 58, did the training, best day of his life is first day. And a whole string of girls between 26 and 36 when he's 59 and 60. And there were good girls too. There were psychologists and yoga teachers and professional singers. And this guy, pretty incredible. I think I've talked about these guys. That was a CEO who'd had toxic girl after toxic girl after toxic girl. Remember, he's only 5'4" or something. So he gave me a wonderful testimonial. Every single guy, on and on and on. This guy, a little bit dorky in my view, did a dating program with the wrong guy. And so did a lot of approaches, but didn't get any results. Just completely transformed his life. He did a residential in Bali with me. And within 3 days, he'd got like 2 of the hottest girls that we saw in Bali. And his friend probably did even better. There's so many of these, you get the point. I'll talk about some other ones later. And I've done it with the help of a whole team of Tess and Natalia and Jackie and Nevina and Kotas and Vals. And we promised you Supreme Social Conference, a stack of hot dates, your beautiful, loving dream girlfriend fast. So if you want to actually change your life starting this week, you can book a one-on-one coaching call. Basically, you approach Tess, you practice dating her, and then we give you back with what Tess is going to teach you. You'll, compared to every other guy, you're basically master approaching, master conversation. You never run out of things to say. Most importantly of all, we'll leave you with a plan and a top 3 action steps. If you just apply the number 1 thing on that plan, I pretty much promise you it'll change your life. We only do these on Mondays. There should be a link that goes into the chat about now. It's a very special offer. It's going to be, so we're getting way more than half our views from the US. We're starting to get quite a good number of sales. We're starting to get sales from the US and quite a few sales. Took a bit of time, but they're certainly coming in now. During COVID, we were charging $14.95 for this service. We haven't sold many more because most guys do the actual training. But and it's just $1. There's so many more testimonials. I'll save some of them. So this could be you tomorrow. That gives you why you should listen to us and what we do for people. So now, can we bring the lovely Tess back up and remove the slides? Got that?
Hey guys.
Okay, here we are back. So next up, I think we have co-working spaces. So let's.
James, did you want to go through a couple of the questions from the other topics?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for Tess. Sorry for my regulars for ignoring you a bit. I don't have my second screen working, which is very stressful for me. I'm not very good at this as it is. Question away.
So just 1 second.
Could you put them on the screen, Tess? I'll have a nervous breakdown if I need to do this and then put the...
No worries at all. Let me just get them up. So we had a question going back to yoga classes. Magnus was asking for some good openers for yoga classes. So, guys, this is really simple. I like to challenge you to think of some on your own. Does anyone have any suggestions in the chat? But I'll give you guys just the most simple, easy one. What did you think of that yoga class? So easy, and it's relatable. You've both just been to a yoga class, presuming you're coming out of the yoga class. Very easy to answer, easy opener for a yoga class. And then from there, you can ask probably a more open question about getting to know her. So, and central to yoga, like, so what got you into yoga? Oh, what do you love about yoga? Or what do you love about this studio? Something like that. So yeah, I think the most simple one. What do you think of that yoga class? Or if it's before the yoga class, again, some of those other ones I asked. I mentioned, what do you think of this yoga studio? What got you into yoga? Those things. Easy. And
Do you want to say anything about
James,
that?
Yeah, go ahead, James.
How's your class? If you're a proper Australian, unlike me. It's not often I quote basketballers, but if anyone on this podcast goes into a yoga studio and starts by telling a girl you're beautiful or you're cute or you're sexy, I'm going to slap you. That's what Charles Barkley said when some journalist asked him, who's better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? It's like, is the earth flat? Anyway, some younger different opinions than me. So yeah, do not do direct approaches in a yoga class, or never ever come near one of our female coaches. Just please don't do that. Guys do. I see it. I'm just like, oh my God, this is if I say the R word, will I get shot by a satellite or something for being politically incorrect? Okay, great question, Magnus. Oh, but by the way, got the right guy. Did I just put a picture of you up from 2007? He might not want to confirm
Magnus,
that.
Yeah.
He might not want to confirm that for he probably doesn't care. He gave me a testimonial. Just put. I can't see the chat now. I'm too stressed about getting everything else right. Great question. What's the next question, please?
So Nolan asked, how do you make convo in yoga class without seeming like that guy? So coming across as creepy. So pretty much exactly what we've said, exactly what James mentioned. Just you don't want to, point out anything about her body or the way she looks, or it's make it about yoga and connect around that, like build actual authentic connection around yoga, because that's why you've both gone to a yoga class. And then from there, once you've done that and built the initial rapport, then you can take things away from the yoga class. You might start to ask questions about what her other interests are in life outside of yoga. You definitely don't want to be commenting on anything about her appearance.
If I need to do it, I'm really good at not perving, and that's something you need to do to get the hottest girls. But dude, you're going to have a hard enough freaking time not staring if you go to the right yoga class, let alone going up and telling her. It'd be completely insane. Every girl would just disown you. I've heard stories of guys being asked to leave, so just do not do that. Again, if you want to actually use this as a training, which you could do, because like when I lived in Bondi, I do a few classes, like if I wanted to have sex at a studio really near me, and then I had a studio that the yoga style I really like. I had another studio that was probably like 2 kilometers away, maybe a bit more than that, 3 kilometers away. But then I had my serious yoga studio about 7 kilometers away, where the best yoga teacher I've ever had in my life. So yeah, practice your dating skills, your approaching skills, not the place where you do yoga. As I'm encouraging you guys to do yoga. Sorry, that's a fantastic question he's asked. You be that guy by socializing with everyone. You're not just talking to hot girls. I mean, if you go there and you're half well dressed, you'll have girls essentially picking you up. Don't go, I'm not talking to you. You're not attractive enough for me. Talk to the guys. Just make friends with everyone. That's, I suppose, one of my big secrets. I know when you're very, very busy, it can be hard to be that social. And, when I went to my serious studio, I basically didn't talk to anyone unless because I was there for yoga. But yeah, have a practice studio. Don't make it about sex. Don't compliment her. Don't ask them out too early. Chat to them. I need to see the exact situation, but chat to them a few times before you start hitting them up for dates or numbers. Anything you want to add to that, Tess?
No, I completely agree, James. That was pretty good.
Oh,
I might just say, James,
take the yoga seriously. That's the biggest tip. Don't be sort of like.
Yes, exactly.
And then everyone else has switched to another class pose, and you're still doing that. It's easy to do. It's easy to do.
James, I don't think we could actually see your what you were doing there. It's the picture's frozen a bit. I'm wondering,
No.
are you planning on sharing your screen again, or maybe if we remove that that thumbnail, then it might be working a little bit better because you've frozen up again.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
What's the thumbnail? Oh.
So see at the bottom how you've got the one where you've shared your screen.
Oh, geez.
And then the frozen one.
She's not just an ex-model and a brilliant dating coach. She's giving me tech support. So is that the N that I've got there?
Yeah. See how we're both on stage, but then the one. Okay. No, actually, yeah, with the slides. Yeah, that's probably better. That might be better now that you've stopped the share screen thing. Just
I
trying
didn't
to see
know
how
I
this
did.
works. It's kind of funny. Someone
I
commented.
can see both of us with you on the left. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the two of us with me on the left and you on the right, but your image is completely frozen. So we can hear you, but I just can't see you moving.
This is heartbreaking. I'm sorry. You're much prettier than me, but it's going to be a bit amateur. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll turn the camera off and on in a second. I don't know if that's going to help me. So how do you make convo in yoga class that's seeming like a guy? Yeah, I suppose we've covered that already. If you could put next question up, Tess.
Yeah. So someone's asking what clothes are suitable for yoga for a man. Yeah, so obviously something that's comfortable. Yeah, you've got to. You're not going to look good if you're not comfortable. But then again, yeah, I mean, some of our basic style advice is just keep it simple. No loud, crazy colors or patterns or something that's really costumey and trying to draw a lot of attention. You just need to wear clothes with colors that suit your skin tone and no crazy logos or anything. They just have to fit well to be comfortable, and yeah, colors that suit your skin tone. I think safe colors are always like the darker blues, black. Yeah, shorts and a t-shirt. That makes sense for yoga. Yeah.
Make sure the clothes fit you. And if you are, over 40, you probably don't have your football playing body anymore. Make sure the waistband's not too tight and you get any sort of handles showing. So you'd want to have you don't want elastic shorts. You want shorts. Darker colors. Lululemon's a great brand. If you've got a bit of cash, use them. They last forever and they're not too flashy. I pretty much always wear a Bond singlet. In quite a few yoga styles, if it's hot, you'll take your shirt off, but you don't need to. So, but I love Bond singlets. They do organic ones as well. Again, any suitable clothes for a man, it would depend on who it was. Athletic young guy would dress very differently to a 50-year-old guy. Not very differently, but somewhat differently. And you would need to look at your body type and analyze it, and analyze what the clothes look like on you. But yeah, Tess covered the basics. Can you guys see me again, or am I still frozen?
No, you're not frozen anymore, but it does. Yeah, it comes in and out. Yeah. So
if I disappear, I was just.
This seems a bit better. Seems a little
John,
bit better, but it's not great.
Is there any way I can drop to? Anyway, let's do the next question.
Okay, let's have a look. None specific. We've got some more general questions, but nothing specifically around yoga or the communal tables.
Okay. Did that improve things at all? I've just reduced the quality. Anyway, we might just have to persist. I'm not that pretty anyway. You're not missing much. As long as you can see Tess clearly. I'm probably not. Okay,
there's one more that's just come through about the yoga. We'll just quickly do that one and then we'll move on. So yeah, Nolan's asking, because it's a yoga class, do you have to keep the number of people you ask out limited? I would say yes. I mean, yeah, you have to be careful with that sort of thing. Yeah, in any sort of club that you're a part of, or place that studio that you're frequenting often. Yeah, often that forms a sort of a bit of a community as well. So yeah, you don't want to burn any bridges there by just sleeping with every woman, and yeah, that's not going to give you a great reputation. So yeah, guys, I think that's a pretty obvious one. You've got to be smart about how you approach these things, and yeah, you can't sleep with every single woman there. Yeah, so this is obviously you'd probably just want to be choosing the more high quality women, or the women who you're more interested in, and yeah, if it's a studio that you're really serious about and you really enjoy going to, yeah, I would absolutely limit the number of women that you're asking out there. You might have a secondary studio which which you don't care about as much, which you could increase the numbers there. What do you think, James?
Or a thirdly yoga studio if you really like yoga girls, because yeah. Okay, Nolan. Thank you, Nolan. Just if we say the name of the person asking the question, that would be wonderful. Okay, it's 2025 now, post Harvey Weinstein and all that stuff. You got to be very, very careful about this. I'm just going to explain this. I've lived a lot of time in Bondi Beach, Australia. Sorry to you Americans. Apparently there's a famous TV show about it I've never seen. And there was a bookstore cafe there that was amazing. I couldn't believe this existed in Australia, let alone Bondi Beach. And I was like their regular customer, like one of the most regular. I probably spent a lot more money than most people there. But they freaking hated me. They freaking hated me. Yeah, I just slept with a lot of their customers, and then I took a lot of dates there, like a lot, because there was the best girls. You get backpackers coming in, and then the smart ones go to this cafe. This is a long time ago, and the dumb party ones go to that cafe. So, and it was beside a grocery store, and it had good food and coffee. So anyway, and I'd sit in the two communal tables there, and I'd just have a field day. Like some of the best girls I ever met in Australia, most of the best girls I ever met in Australia, I met there. Borders was more significant. But anyway, yeah, they were just terrible to me. And then somewhat serious bisexual girlfriend, and I'd take girls there for dates, and then they'd see me another time with her because we really loved the cafe and a lot of our friends went there, and they were so horrible to me. Sometimes I'd pay for a book and they'd just grab the money and snatch it, then throw the change down. Another time, she served a girl I was with coffee, and this is the owner of the store. She just smashes, and then it spills everywhere over the sides. I sort of made things worse by sort of taking 3 sets of girls I was sleeping with there and touching them on the back and stroking their face in front of all the people who treated me so badly. I moved to another suburb. Anyway, so yeah, if that had happened in 2025, they would have probably told every single girl I slept with, and potentially, one of those could have ended up at the police. Particularly if she was over a certain age or a bit whatever and really liked me. So yeah, you have to be very, very careful doing this stuff in Australia, in America, in Canada, in Europe these days. It could really hurt. Any other yoga questions, or should we move on?
No, that was it.
Okay.
So let's move on.
All right, before we do that, speaking point. Is it approaching? Is it conversation? Is it actually getting the attraction and escalating, like moving to touching or maybe the first kiss? Or is it, I suppose, is it actually getting the girl attracted to you and going somewhere? Or is it closing the deal?
Yeah, guys. So just in the comments, what is it for you? What's your biggest sticking point? Just write 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 is approaching. 2, conversation. 3, attraction and escalation. Or 4, closing the deal. What is your biggest sticking point? We'd love to hear from you guys.
Okay, great. Co-working spaces. Did you want me to start with this one, Tess?
Yeah, go ahead, James.
Okay, again, this is a where are we?
I can jump in, James.
No,
yeah.
I've got it. I've just
Cool.
This is unless you really want to.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
You'd rather me start?
Yeah, go ahead, James. Go.
Just for anyone watching, there's somewhere Tess has incredible expertise. These are my points. I think we haven't covered her number 1, which is my fault. These are my points. So in yoga, in communal tables, Tess had a lot to offer. She might not have that much to offer for co-working spaces, so she can give her comments after. If you want above average intelligent women, if you want ambitious women, not always, but sometimes you're not getting the most feminine women. Occasionally you'll get a girl with some online jewelry business or something. It literally is one of the easiest places of all. It's one of the easiest places of all. True, especially when you're traveling, because you've got so much stuff to talk about. Just so much stuff to talk about. Business, marketing, hiring. Some business guru like Alex Amosi, what business are you in? Tell me about your business. Tell me about your problems. Tell me about what's working. Have you got a good accountant? Do you have a good bookkeeper? Do you have a good traffic person? There's endless amounts to talk about, like endless amounts to talk about. You can and you also learn a lot from the girls there. You want to have some caution in your home city. It was literally so good that for meeting girls, I just wasn't getting any work done. Because a lot of the girls were a bit older or not exactly the ones I wanted. But yeah, it's a really, really, really good opportunity for you. As we said at the start, if you're a person who can work remotely for a bit, go to a cafe near the Central Business District. Go to a cafe near a yoga studio. Go to a co-working space. Pay whatever it is, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks for the day. And you just meet so many girls, just so many girls if you go to the right one. Pretty much everyone I've been to has a lot of girls. And, when I'm traveling and, I don't need to be, Mr. Careful with the whole post-Harvey Weinstein stuff. Really, really good. Tess, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think the kind of women who go to co-working spaces as well are generally, it depends where you are. Some people just solely work in co-working spaces like startup places, but potentially have interesting lifestyles. If they're traveling and working at the same time, that can be really interesting women to talk to, and therefore the conversation can flow really well. If she's also business minded, you're in a good setting to potentially speak to her about some of her biggest passions or motivations, which is a great way to get a woman to open up to you and build really good rapport. So so if you're also business minded and you're looking for that kind of woman, this kind of co-working spaces can be great. And again, as I mentioned, you might get her in a really great state of mind as well if she's potentially traveling or moving around a lot. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about there.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Again, traveling, it's very, very easy. We're going to be encountering the same themes over and over again. Talk to lots of people. dress well. In our course, I think there's an amazing sex module, and obviously approaching conversation escalation. I'm very proud of what it is. But the most popular one by far is the reading signals module. I've had so many compliments about that, even though, it could be a bit more professional in the way we presented it. It's basically sort of a webinar. But yeah, guys have said that just changed my life. So yeah, once you can actually see what's going on, something we coaching on our boot camps, our online thing, it's just there's opportunities everywhere. Just dress well, talk to lots of people, be social. Obviously, you've got just like the gym or the yoga, so you've got the water fountain, you've got where you make a cup of tea. I mean, a lot of the co-working studios I've been to, they're almost pickup joints. They've got all these, community outings, and we're having a speaker tonight, or we're having or we're going to go, I'm just making this up, we're going to go, I don't know, rock climbing this week, or we're going to do this. So much of this, I mean, if you watch the document, anyone who's a business minded person, if you watch the actual documentary on WeWork, that was a really good movie. But yeah, they're not selling office space, they're selling the community, and a big part of the community was having sex with someone who shares your interests, which is really one of the community. I'm because I coach quite a few quite high-end guys. I've literally had it on my to-do list for many years to start coaching women, because one of the issues I get when I coach guys is they get a whole bunch of girls and they meet someone who's pretty special, but after they've had the success they've had through Tess and I and Natalia, they sometimes really struggle to meet someone they can take very, very, very seriously. So yeah, actually, I want to start coaching women to get better at help, in part to make, anyway, I'm crapping on a bit. So co-working spaces, any questions on co-working spaces? We probably need to move on.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a lag for YouTube, so oftentimes the questions come out like 30 seconds after we ask them. So sometimes we're waiting a little bit. But yeah, if you guys have any questions around co-working spaces, chuck them in the comments in the chat, and we'll definitely have a look at them when they come through.
Next up, we have gyms. Tess, did you want to start with this, or would you like?
Yeah. So gyms, okay. So many people think,
sorry,
oh,
Tess,
no.
well, why don't we do your number one favorite?
My number one favorite, sure.
That was
so.
I just want to tell you how wonderful Tess is. She's learned so much about how to be an amazing coach. She gave me her list, just her top 3 list, because we don't discuss this beforehand. She's aware of what I'm going to do, but she does her stuff first. But she came up with one of the easiest of all time that I didn't think of. So blessings to Tess. So let's get into your one.
So guys, dog parks. Dog parks are amazing.
Very nice, very nice. I like. Go.
I'm sure, I mean, any of you guys who are dog owners, I'm sure just you've experienced taking your dog for a walk, how much attention you get from women. So if you own a dog, go to the dog park, and yeah, your dog starts playing with another dog. It's, the first thing you're going to do is speak to the owner. So yeah, they can be amazing places to meet women. I think that also, we've spoken about this in a couple of our other sessions before, but women love men who show kindness to other beings. And yeah, if you're also a great pet father, women absolutely love that, because it's kind of, it's the same thing as men who are really great with kids. Their ovaries start screaming and they're like, oh, I really like this guy. It's like it's just in our genetic makeup to be attracted to that. So yeah, in the same regard, men with dogs, pet owners, yeah, women love that. So yeah, if you guys have any comments on that, any dog owners there as well, if you've experienced yeah, the kind of attention that can bring. yeah, feel free to chuck that in the chat. What do you think, James? Did you have anything else to add to that?
Did you ask something, Tess?
Yeah, did you? What were your thoughts on dog parks?
It's brilliant. It's just so easy. One of my first girlfriends who wanted me not for me for, whatever my success, she bought this dog. She didn't even like the thing, but it was a super cute, wonderful dog. And I wouldn't say she was neglectful, but she really didn't care about the dog much at all. So many girls. I mean, Paris walking around Upper East Side of Manhattan, where she lives. And she's got some little chihuahua in her bag. Say, oh, come on, boys, come talk to me. She started this cruelty to animal trend. Dogs should be walking, not in a $8,000 handbag. It's such a cheat code, and yeah, it just makes things so easy. Again, I care about my clients. You don't want to get a dog or start walking your dog girls you meet there. That's one of the huge mistakes once guys get some sort of hack or some sort of thing that works for them. But yeah, anything else I've got to do? I mean, I haven't had a dog. Thankfully, I've had the skills to meet girls in other places, so I've never needed to do that. But Tess made a really good point. I didn't think about where if she's a loving dog owner, she's probably a bit likely she's a good person. If she's a loving cat, she could be a good person. She could be a really, really, really screwed up person too. Yeah. So I might get banned from YouTube for that. Yeah, I got a housekeeper who sort of sounded wonderful. She had experience and all that, but she had multiple cats, and her WhatsApp photo was her with a cat looking like a psychopath, and she was a psychopath. So little bit of a tip there, boys. I know it's the tired cliche about bitter single woman with her 2 or 3 or 6 cats in her house drinking red wine by herself on a little studio balcony or 1-bedroom balcony. But yeah, you can get some, I can't say the B word, even that. You can get some dangerous, correct term for female dogs, when you start to get the cat owners. So loving dog owners are much more safe from my sample size. I've properly lived with for a time, 2 girls with 2 cats. One of them was wonderful and remarkable, but yeah, not the most mentally healthy of whatever women I've been able to share my bed and space with. So yeah, dogs, fantastic one from Tess. Thank you so much for that. So we've done co-working space. Questions come through on dogs. I'm not paying attention to them. Oh, look at these amazing skills I have. We must ask this question first. How confident are you at approaching women? It's easy for me. Sometimes after 12 standard drinks. I rarely do it. I'd rather play Russian roulette, which is what I was till about 32. So yeah, what's everyone's Tess, remember to read them out because I can't see them now. So we've done gyms, have we?
No, not yet.
Okay. I think we need to do a part 2 on this one.
I think so, yeah.
Tess, did you want to start with gyms?
Yeah, sure. So gyms, this is slightly controversial. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you can't approach a woman at the gyms. It's just so creepy. Yeah, they get preyed on all the time, so they have their barriers up, etc. Which, yeah, I agree with that. But it's also an amazing opportunity if you do the right thing and you're not creepy. So keep in mind that going to a gym, you have your membership. It's often somewhere that people attend multiple times a week. So the absolute biggest opportunity at a gym is social proofing. Social proofing is huge. If you frequent a gym weekly or more, you should be talking to the people who work there. You should be, saying hi to other regulars. Build rapport with other people in the gym, other regulars, because when a new female joins that gym and they see that everyone there, and it's you're just tapping into those. You're increasing your status in that social setting. So women, it'll draw attention, and it'll make it so much easier for you to just approach her and start a conversation as well when she can see that everyone knows you and trusts you. And so social proofing is huge, and that's a huge thing that you can gain at gyms if you frequent them regularly. And then again, you also do have to just avoid coming across as creepy, similar to what we were talking about at yoga studios. You never want to be like blatantly checking out women or commenting on their physique unless they're like super strong, and your comment comes across as like very authentic. Like you're like, wow, you really admire your level of fitness or something like that. But yeah, nothing that comes across as sleazy at all.
So don't start with "I love your body." That's probably not the sharpest. Again, you got to be careful you don't look up and down. Okay, this is gonna be another rant. Women go to gyms to meet athletic guys. Women go to gyms to meet athletic guys. Many girls, they don't want to be in the weights area whatsoever. They're doing that to meet guys. Just like women go to yoga in part when you can do it from home, unless you've got a remarkable teacher. The group setting can be nice, but yeah, if you're a serious yogi, you often get a much better class at home. And in a gym, you got to wait for the equipment and blah 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 blah. Particularly if it's busy, when a lot of them go. So yeah, go to gyms to meet athletic, healthy guys. So you just got to get that through your head. I mean, I think for a woman's physique, Pilates is dramatically better than gyms. They might do that as well, but many of them still go to gyms, and it's to meet guys. I mean, I'm getting into Darwin again. Women spend so much of their time and energy strategizing how to get the best guy. Much of us time and energy strategizing how to get ahead in life and have high status and high wealth, because women can only have 3 or 5 or 6 or 9 kids, whereas we can potentially have thousands. So it's wired into us. So yeah, women go to gyms to meet guys. Tessa's covered a really good point in terms of be social. That's the secret. A good friend of mine growing up, one of my roommates, who the joke was, and he slept with a lot of girls, he did a split routine at the gym. He talked to half the people. One day, and he talked the other half the next day. It was this split routine. But yeah, the amount of girls he got. He didn't have insane conversation skills, but he's just very, very, very friendly with everyone. I much prefer yoga. Girls, you can get some a little bit on the masculine side there, which in your 30s can be good for a time, but yeah, it's probably not what I'm looking for now. Again, I'm no oil painting, I'm no Rembrandt or Van Gogh, but yeah, I've been to gyms, and I've heard the saying fresh meat just when I go in the first time. So yeah, women are going there to meet guys. Again, if you've got a half a brain at reading signals, one of the things we're maniacal about teaching our clients, it's just so obvious. The girls are just, so many of them are there just throwing themselves at guys. I'm no expert at gyms, as you can tell by these gigantic biceps of mine. No expert at gyms. I have had sex from girls I met at gyms, but not anywhere near the volumes of bookstores or yoga or travel or anything like that. And yeah, I find there's going to be a limit to how many girls you can approach and sleep with, but the smaller, funky community gym where it's more socially acceptable to start talking to people, and there's a percentage chance you might see them again. Whereas when you go to these gigantic gyms, they're probably good for sleeping with lots of girls, because you can approach a few and they don't find out about how whatever pick-uppy or good pick-uppy actually sleep with So you'll have a much longer run in the much bigger, I don't even know what they're called. There's a whole bunch of Americans watching, so I don't know what they are called, but the bigger sort of corporate chain gym where they're huge, you're going to have more ability to practice, but to actually get results, I'd go for the smaller gym. Again, if you get one with a restaurant and some sort of communal table, again, there was one in Bondi Beach. This is all point of view, nearly dead. It's just double bay with a beautiful beach. If you can get a gym with some sort of cafe restaurant with a communal table, that is just so easy. So yeah, for guys who are into fit girls, it's just wonderful. The other thing is, I'm not big on this, but yeah, if you work out with weights, if you're wearing a singlet or a shirt off or something, you can look better. But it's going to send your testosterone skyrocketing. And the what's the word? The magic trick of many guys I coached is they do the boot camp, they do the training, then they meet wings. And then before they go out to meet girls, they go do an hour and a half of pretty intense jiu-jitsu. Then they go home, shower, shit and shave, as we used to say. And then they're just so watching me. Even guys who are like 5'5", because your testosterone's through the roof. Money attracts girls to an extent, but yeah, and muscles attract girls to an extent as long as you don't go overboard. But yeah, testosterone is like the grand prize of all. Again, how you dress determines so much. There's probably one of the more famous outdoor gyms in the world in Bondi Beach, and there's absurdly hot guys, just like absurdly hot guys. Like their bodies on, like I could go there when there's like 20 people there, and 15 of them you could put in the cover of Men's Health. Of Men's Health. I'm not exaggerating. I think that they spend nearly every day at the gym working on their body. They're probably not running huge corporations or stitching up people after car accidents or something. There's some absurdly good people, and the number of times I go there and the girls are paying to me, I'm like, why? He's 20 or 30 years younger and he's 100 times hotter. And I realize I'm just in plain shorts that fit me and a plain singlet that fits me. And my shoes aren't like 12 different colors and high heels like that. So yeah, the girls don't look at your muscles and go, oh, I want to do him. Well, that's so far down their list, it's not funny. They look at how you present yourself and they use that as a read on their status. Jerking off with Origin of the Species and the Descent of Man during my whatever you call this, YouTube live or a podcast, but it's the best education you can have. Darwin's the greatest dating coach there is. Final tip, and I think this is a bloody ripper. A friend of mine lives in LA, and he told me this story about a girl he was trying to get his way with, and you get lots of girls like this in LA. Her life had sleep with Charlie Sheen. This is a more than 10-year-old story, much more than 10-year-old story. And yeah, that's all she talked about when he sort of met her and met up with her and talked. I just want Charlie, I want Charlie. So anyway, my friend sees her. Then for some reason he sees her again 3 or 4 days later. And she was talking about, oh, I'm going out with a group of people in Charlie's entourage, whatever you call it, LA talk. And then my oh, how'd you go with Charlie? Did you get to sleep with him finally? She goes, no, but I fucked his best friend. So the reason I've told you this story, and this is, I think, insane value I'm giving you. Yeah, one of the reasons I got so much attention at the gym I went to briefly was because I used my social skills, my questions, all the stuff that Tess and Natalia teach you. I used it to seduce the personal trainer, not the hottest girls. Then I just workshop on my workout, and I'm not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger or Brad Pitt Fight Club, particularly in my 50s. And yeah, the girls sort of picked up me. Why is this? That's why I told the Charlie Sheen story. Because women see everything in a status hierarchy. We just see boobs and long legs and pretty symmetrical faces and thick hair and big lips. They see status hierarchies. This is really good content. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. Big-headed. So men see boobs and thin bodies and pretty faces. Women see status hierarchies. By going out my way to sort of, in a Machiavellian sense, sorry, that's a big word, or manipulatively befriend the personal trainer, I'm suddenly going from like some, whatever, 6.5 old guy with a grey beard and a big nose who's really skinny and really weird and dorky and pretty bad posture and sunken chest and has to often all these insecurities I probably have and weird chin and all this stuff. I've gone from this guy to one of the guys they want simply because I've aligned myself to the highest value person in the group. Can I do a survey? Am I just crapping on, or is this really, really valuable? Particularly anyone who's kind of new to social coach. So yeah, I was pretty proud of that last 2 or 3 minutes. Hopefully people agree with me. Tess, what do you think about my rant?
Yeah, I think our regulars, they love your stories, James. And yeah, I think that, it helps people visualize what you're talking about as well.
Tess, can I interrupt? Can you repeat that? Because some guys come along and go, this big nose weird old creep just craps on too much.
Okay, obviously.
Far more value
no, right.
in these stories than me giving you 10 points that you forget about next week.
No, we absolutely do have some people who are like, oh, when is he going to get to the point? But guys, listen to James's stories, because these are real life experiences that people have had, that James has had, that really, they accentuate why this makes sense. So so listen to what he's talking about. This is real life experience. And it helps you remember the point as well. It's like, oh, that story that he told about this, really engage with that, because yeah, I mean, all of our regulars and a lot of the guys we coach, they love the stories. So I like your stories too, James. You
Socrates, Seneca, Tony Robbins, Alex Hormozi, Dan Sullivan, Nietzsche.
Yeah, there's a lot of great bonus information in there, guys. So, rather than us just giving you a few simple pointers about going to the gyms, these stories have a lot of depth in them. So yeah, and plus they can be entertaining. So
some people don't think so. Great teachers teach you steps and whatever. No, great teachers tell you. I could say that about so many books I've read. I could say that about Tony Robbins. I could say that about my favorite business coach right now. Just to drive this point home maybe too hard, I read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's a very, very, very hard book to read. It's like dense, boring literature. But it's really good. It is really good. It's one of the great self-help books of all time. If someone reread it, I mean, I can't tell you what the 7 points were. I probably could tell you the first 2 or 3, but I could tell you right now 2 or 3 of the stories he told me in that book, and it was like the most boring book of all time. It's like tedious. But yeah, you're bitten by a snake. Do you chase it down the trail and try to catch the thing and smash its head in, or do you go get some anti-venom? What do you do? So I remembered that 15 years after I read the book. Anyway, I'm pushing this too hard. Jim's Tess, did you have anything to add to that? Do we have any questions about?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about gyms, feel free to chuck that in the chat. We'll have a look at those. Just going back. Yeah, we haven't had many questions come out recently. Yeah, any questions about that, guys? Cool. David agrees with you as well. Good speakers tell good stories. Awesome.
Very much, David. Appreciate that. I might just on that point, I just wanted to make this point. I honestly think Tess and I are delivering insane amounts of value here. You could argue we could maybe summarize some of it and do it a bit more efficiently, but I mean, I just think it's insane amounts of value. And I spend a lot of time on YouTube looking at what's working. And yeah, I'm sort of an expert at the sort of over 40s, more intelligent guys. But yeah, for guys who've come along to a few of these, guys who really resonate with these, who make more than I don't even know, 60,000 US, maybe 90,000 Australian a year. The value you get from spending 45 minutes with Tess is insane. It's just insane. Just identifying that one or two things that you're doing hand on heart can change your life. If you just do a half-assed job of implementing one or two of the things that we're telling you, it can really change your life. Oh, he doesn't know the buttons. 2 hosts, 1 media. He got it. So yeah, where are we? So yeah, oh, there's the overview. I forgot. That's the graph of Match.com. If Luke's on, thank you. I think it was Luke who told me that. I think it peaks in 2016. So online. So yeah, if you want to know how to efficiently go out and get real dates with women without using bars or dating apps, and take advantage of all these, what I think are great suggestions we're giving you tonight, you can get a date tomorrow with a literal catwalk model who's like probably getting close to, or is the best coach I've ever had in 19 years, certainly online. She's freaking amazing. BATCH is probably better than me now. Anyway, expert. This what it looks like. We're also got Natalia, who's really wonderful, not quite test level, but very good. And yet what happens is we're going to identify and eliminate the mistakes you're making. Compared to the average guy, you're going to master approaching, master conversation, and never run out of things to say. And yeah, we're going to give you a custom dating plan, which, I mean, it's so valuable. And most importantly, those top 3 action steps. If all you do is do a half-assed job of, implementing that, I mean, there's no telling. Yeah, that's what it'll look like. You get a date with a pretty girl. I should swap out and put Tess there. And yeah, as I said, we're charging $14.95 pre-COVID. We're starting to make sales to the US, and we're starting to make sales from non-clients. So this opportunity, I suppose the prices we're currently charging, because it's post-COVID, I got a lot of pain, may not exist for very long. And yeah, it's just $14.95. Me too. If you want to book, click the link below. Those guys watching non-live in the replay, it should be in the comments if I didn't screw up. And yeah, the next Aussie boot camps are 13 to 16, which is getting very tight. And then 5 to 8 February. So yeah, that's what your evening could look like tomorrow, staring at that, completely transforming your life. And yeah, I'm going to join them too tomorrow. So that's cool. I'm just going to get the tech going. So now we go back to 2 people, and we've done gyms.
Yep, we've done gyms.
Let me see. How's the Q&A going? How's the general questions going?
Yeah, there were a couple of general questions from earlier on. Did you want to have a look at some of them?
Yeah, can you just answering guys' questions?
Have a look. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, guys, just bear with me.
That's okay. I'll jump into something else. I'm dropping Tess in the deep end here. I say this on everyone. Okay, we might just do this now. I've advertised. I haven't done it yet, have I? I'll just do this because we got to deliver the points we offered. Cool. Just remember that, please. Personal development seminars. I say this on every single one. It's so easy. It's the easiest. They can't all be the easiest. What's the easiest will depend on you. I mean, if you've got insane skills, bars are easy because girls are there to, meet guys and potentially have fun. But to me, actually, for me, it's obviously bookstores, bookstore cafes, and travel. That's all the great women of my life come from just those 2 places out of, a reasonable number. So it's so ridiculously easy because girls, many of them pretty fucked up, go there to meet guys who are into self-help stuff. So yeah, every time I do it, it's just, I was living with a bisexual girlfriend, and she said, oh, what time will you be home? What time will you be home on Sunday? Because she wanted to see if we should catch up. I said, oh, I'm probably going to get laid. So I got laid, but it wasted a lot of time. It sort of destroyed whatever value I got out of the event. networking to sleep with this pretty hot girl. I'll save that story for another time. But yeah, they're so ridiculously easy. The people who put on these personal development seminars, especially the ones that get a lot of women, they intentionally design it with you, but it's also to introduce all the people. Some of them make you partner up with someone, and the girl has to pick who the partner is. So yeah, it's very, very powerful. Again, all the tips we're giving you for all the other things. The reason I got this really hot girl from a DiMartini seminar is because I, again, slightly Machiavellian style, I befriended this super cool young alpha male with a decent business. Friend in the room outside of the girl I was like quite interested in, and then just when I managed to get her off the end of the event, it turned out that the actual speaker, a guy called Martini, was having dinner. So I said, "Oh, I really want to sleep with her tonight because I've already had 2 bisexual girls at the time." So rather than try to work my moves on her, and I was already doing well, I spent about half an hour, 45 minutes just sort of asking this guy questions. Yeah, just so powerful. Personal development seminars, again, just make friends with everyone. If you can make friends with the leaders, the support people for the leaders, anything to increase your status in the room. That's one of the best things I've ever said. Men see boobs and pretty faces and long legs and slim bodies and perfect skin and glowing eyes and big lips. Women see social hierarchies. So we're trying to get fertile women. They're trying to. That's a YouTube short I've got to start doing soon. We might just go straight to questions about personal development seminars because I've covered a lot of the important points about them before. Okay, openers. How are you enjoying the seminar? How are you enjoying the workshop? How are you enjoying Tony Robbins? Or I don't really know many of them because I don't really like my Tony Robbins helped me a lot. And yeah. Oh, okay. While the questions are coming in, if you're trying to meet girls in a bookstore, something I'm really fond of, my favorite are always in the literature section. If you're into girls who are into literature, who are very intelligent, go to the literature philosophy section. If you're into girls who are into health, go to the health section. If you're into girls who are into music, go to the music section. If you're into girls who are into astrology, go to the astrology section. If you're girls sort of wacky, what did I say earlier? Clearing past life trauma. If you're into those girls, go to that section. And what do you get when you're in the self-help section? Crazy girls. Talk to girls who need self-help in many cases. I've got a big enough sample size to be statistically significant on that one. Okay, let's go questions.
Questions on personal development seminars, guys? We've got a couple of like more general questions that came through a bit earlier.
Whatever's coming through, we've got to address the questions people are asking.
Okay. Stephen asks, how does a girl show she's attracted to you? What are the signs to look for? So basically, yeah, I guess it depends on where, if this is if this is prior to approaching her, signals that she's inviting your approach, versus when you're on a date, showing positive signals that she wants more, she wants you to escalate more, etc. So yeah, I think some obvious ones, we've spoken about this in the past, obvious ones for when she's inviting your approach, let's say in a bar, a cafe, etc. She might be just placing herself in your direct line of sight, trying to get your attention. She might be trying to get attention by raising her voice or giggling loudly, or like looking over her shoulder constantly back at you, like flipping her hair a lot. All of this stuff. There are a lot of the basic ones for trying to gain your attention. On a date, I would say, if you're doing some touching, she's touching you back, a lot of giggling, framing her face, things like this on a date. There are a lot of positive signs. And it's just the basic ones off the top of my head. And the more you start to pick up on these things, you'll realize that there are a lot of them out there. A lot of guys are just really blind to them. So yeah, that should give you a few things to look for.
Yeah, I think our reading signals trainings were on the long. I did it a while ago. It's like 3.5 hours or something. So yeah, just questions. How does the girl show she's attracted to you? Any more questions?
Yeah, there were a couple from before. Just 1 second. Let me get it up again. Sec.
I didn't look, so I've only got one screen. We've got those who've actually booked in, so there's 1 or 2 sessions left if anyone wants to get that opportunity with Tess. That's an interesting question. You want to take it first, Tess?
Yeah, swimming pool, leisure centre to meet women. Yeah, this can be similar to gym. I would say if you're frequenting the leisure centre often, definitely tap into the social proofing. Again, I think approaching women in their swimwear, she might be a little bit more self-conscious. I think that maybe swimming leisure centres are slightly less social unless there are like group classes that you're doing. People kind of go there and they're swimming solo in the water. It can be a bit awkward. I wouldn't say it's just the best place to meet women, unless it's like more of a group scenario, like a swimming club, where there might be events or outside of the swimming where you collectively get together and there's an opportunity to chat there.
Okay, very few things I say about dating are laws of physics or maths that just apply in every situation. But generally, given we sort of target guys over 40 and we sort of help guys as old as 60s, 60-somethings in recent weeks with all the sales we got. And lots of 40s and the odd 38. If you're sort of 40s, 50s, the girls presumably in your target age group, they're probably not crazy happy with their bodies. So when they're wearing so little, I'm not saying it won't work. I'm not saying don't try it. I just don't think. I've had clients who had great bodies who wanted to take girls on dates involving the beach. I said, don't do that. She's going to put a freaking bikini on unless she's so genetically blessed or she's like 18 or 19. She's probably going to be a bit insecure about that. Even if they're literally a fly around the world model, there's always stuff girls don't like. I would not be. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Tess made a few good points about that. Helps. If you do it, you probably want to have a pretty good body as well. Or at least you know what I mean. You could always wear a singlet or something and approach them, but then if they're in a bikini and you're in a t-shirt, that's a bit like that's a bit predatory. I'm exaggerating slightly. Next question, Tess.
Luke's asking Tess if we wouldn't want to come directly over to my place, even on the first date. Have they already thought in their mind they are likely to be having sex that night? Good question, Luke. I think if a woman is trusts you enough to be going to your place, especially on a first date, I'd say yes, that probably has run through her mind. Going to your house. You don't want to just always make that assumption. You've always got to be making sure she's giving the positive signals that that's what she wants. And obviously, working up towards that. But I would say that if she agrees to go to your place, that definitely has run through her mind. Yeah.
I think you might be successful, Luke. You might give us more detail here. So you're meeting a girl somehow, and she's offering to go to your on the first date. Is that what you're asking? It's very important I've got this background and context because that would radically change the answer. If a girl's again, women are so complicated. If a girl's like, okay to come back to your place, or she suggests it, she might be sort of ashamed of her place, or she might just want to see what your place looks like. So she might do that. Then just put up, that's a good, she might sort of be really, really cool with coming back to your place, and then just put you through the ringer and make it impossible to sleep with you without being down the police station the next day. So that's one possibility. I mean, women's tests, I joked before, they're more complicated than particle physics. And it depends on her age. And like, if she, yeah, you see Tessa's smile, she's telling me I'm right. And she's not a big tester from my professional relationship with her, which has had some tough times as well. So, but she's a very mild tester compared to other female coaches. Oh, this is going to be a big-headed, but it's true. I've only really got 2 female coaches, Tessa's the second one, who've got the brains, 3 actually. I've only had 3 female coaches who stayed with me for a time in the entire history of Social Coach, who had the brains to sort of listen to 1 or 2 of my stories and go, oh, maybe my tests won't work. Really obvious, particularly when they hear me talk about women's tests all the time. So there's only been 3 girls with the intelligence not to play these games on me. And I'm just like, you're a fucking idiot. No offense. Do you really date guys who would fall for that? I'm not really that attracted to you anymore. They're just showing they're an idiot. So yeah, women's tests. I'm everything I teach you, I do because I just love helping people. Sorry for the metaphors. But I've been doing it for 19 years. I'm bored of it. But women's tests, I mean, I could be fascinated for that about the next 20 years. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. Psychologically, evolutionary, the strategies different women use, the strategies ridiculously brilliant girls use. That's the subject of many of the greatest works of literature of history, by the way. Do yoga, read literature, do some sort of fighting sport. Yeah, the first 3 of those you don't need a date with tests for. So yeah, did Luke give us any more context about his question?
No, he hasn't. But yeah, I kind of missed out on the if she wants to go directly over to your place. So yeah, James had some interesting. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. James from dating apps. I can ask women to come directly to my place. Even some suggest it, and they don't want to go out for a date. They tend to want sex straight away. Okay, so thanks for clarifying that.
I would never, ever, ever do that. I'd never, ever do that. I'd acknowledge the fact that she's asked, but I'd just say, oh, you should have a date plan. That's another thing that we help guys with. It's very important. You should have a date plan that's got a location near your house, and you just want to meet at that cafe. So yeah, I just would not do that. And I'd be very curious why a girl's being that forthright. What sort of age group are we talking about? Can you remind me your age as well? Yeah, I mean, a 6'6" friend of mine who I helped a lot, he slept with a girl and he was thinking of the other woman. And then a girl just basically came and picked him up, and then he went back to her place. And yeah, she was threatening repeatedly to call the cops, and she actually rang the police in front of him just because he wanted to leave. Yeah, I mean, he makes pretty decent money, but he's not rich by any stretch. You're really putting yourself at grave risk if you're using any of what I imagine is your social career status to attract her. I'd also like to know what age was the girl. And I mean, okay, this is how complicated women are for desirable guys. What age was she? How hot was she? Have her tits got droopy yet? Sorry, women. What's her bum look like? How smart is she? What happened in the dating app chat? Did it go via Instagram as well? There's so many questions I need to know from dating apps. I can ask a woman to come directly to my place. Some even suggest it. That's really scary. I mean, they don't want to go out for a date. They tend to want sex straight away. I mean, again, I don't know what you look like. If you're a really hot guy who might have a allude to the fact he's got a great body, you may get women of a certain age just wanting to sleep with you. That's sort of the world we live in now. I don't know. I'd need to know much more detail about this. I just say be careful, be careful. There's a whole bunch of absurd rules. Like if the girl's had one alcoholic drink, she's no longer able to give you consent. And this was true a few years ago. I've checked it with lawyers. And I should make content about it. I don't want to scare guys from doing my programs either. But yeah, you just got to have skill. You got to be careful. Yeah, I would not, even pre-Me Too, I'd be like, oh, what's going on here? Am I going to get some sort of you're going to turn into a stalker? If you ever had a female stalker, I had a sort of a couple of some mildish ones, but I had a 6'1" German 26-year-old girl whose breasts were not what they probably were at 18, who yeah, she scared the shit out of me. Anyway, any other questions? If you want to share any more detail, Luke, hopefully I haven't really answered it. I've just given you a whole bunch of things to get in the post-Harvey Weinstein era. Do you think the algorithms are going to censor the post-Harvey Weinstein era versus the word Me Too? Maybe I've outsmarted Google for a second. Probably not. That got a mild smile from Tess. Anyway, a couple more questions, then we might wrap up. Luke, thank you for your high-quality questions. I don't know if you saw it, but I shared a graph of Match.com, which I think came from you. I think 216 was the peak. Any more good questions?
We had a question from Hank. What is your opinion on approaching women in your own neighborhood or in the area you live?
Do you want to do that, Tess, or should I?
You go ahead.
It depends what area you live in. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of it in Bondi Beach, and eventually it caught up with me. But because there's a large transitory group of women coming through, particularly the backpackers at that time, whereas if I was, sorry, I keep using Sydney geography. Like in Manhattan, I could probably get away with that because there's so many people. I don't think it would even matter. In Bondi Beach, I got away with it for a while because a lot of the girls I was approaching turned out to be Brazilians or Swedish or something. So it worked for a while, but it really bit me when I was trying to get a threesome with a French girl and some woman who lived nearby where I used to walk, rapist and a pedophile and all this shit. She sort of screwed up the threesome. Talk about what's an AMOG or something. So it will catch up with you eventually. Again, everything I say, I need to put through the filter of the post-Harvey Weinstein area. If you own property there or you intend, you might want to give it some distance. Everyone gets approach anxiety, but if I'm on holiday and I'm not working or on computers, I don't really get much, particularly if she's really hot and I want to meet her. But when I was living in Bondi Beach, certainly the last number of years, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. The other thing, I approached a girl with an insane body, just insane. Like, I don't know whether she's Russian or Italian, just everything was firm, everything was perfect, just wow. Yeah, when I got up close to her face, not so good, not so good. And I'm being very polite here. Anyway, I started the conversation. I didn't just obviously back out and go, hey, I'm not attracted to you. Sorry, I talked to you. So yeah, I saw that girl, I didn't even know, 100 times. It was really, really uncomfortable. One time she was sunbaking topless. It's Bondi Beach, so it can be quite congested. She was sunbaking topless just beside me. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then she looks at me like, like I was a pedophile or something. Anyway, hope that answers your question. It depends where you live. Generally, I would want to, get some skills first before you do that. Yeah, if you can just go a bit, it's like, don't shit in your own nest. You can say shit on YouTube. Don't shit in your own nest. Maybe give it a little bit of distance. would be my. I don't know where you live. If you tell me where you live, if it's just some suburb, I just really don't know. Like if you live in the more probably, I don't know if it's Australian or American. The guys watching live are probably more likely to be Australian by far. If you live in the center of Sydney, Bondi or Newtown or Paran or somewhere like that, or the CBD, it's probably not that big a deal. But if you're out in the suburbs, yeah, or like even a suburb where you've got sort of a like London, New York, Sydney, Paris, it's not sort of a city, it's all these separate boroughs. So yeah, if you're just this little borough that's an enclave where the people tend to go to the same restaurants, same cafes all the time, so it's a very detailed answer. I think it's a lot of value. Then yeah, you probably want to be somewhat careful. But yeah, if you're in central Manhattan, I don't think it matters much. I wasn't aware of any of the New York pickup artists getting in serious legal trouble. Whereas there's been quite a few in other cities that have had that, and there was some guys who were just appalling there. They ruined my favorite bookstore on the planet, completely destroyed it. Let me see. Usually wrap up about now. So is there one burning question someone needs to ask, or any question you think we've neglected, particularly from one of the regulars, Tess?
There's just one more, which I think is directed towards me, that I think is a really good question. So I'm going to put it up.
Excellent question, man. I'm interested in that.
Tess, what have you found to be the greatest issue for men? Okay, so broadly speaking, I have to put it down to just understanding female psychology, and that plays into pretty much every aspect of approach, conversation, escalation. So yeah, without an understanding of the way women think, it becomes really difficult to communicate well and read signals and escalate without knowing if she's enjoying that or not. So yeah, it comes down to probably understanding female psychology. And yeah, I mean, this is the great thing about working with female trainers, that we're all female. We think like women. We know what women want. So this is, all of the skills we teach you, it's not just learning a mechanical skill. You also gain an understanding of why that is important to women. And once you understand that, everything sort of clicks into place. It all makes sense. And it's not like you have to memorize anything. You just understand. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the biggest thing.
Anyway, is this going to work?
Yeah. James? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so Nolan, I don't think we've met before, Nolan, but yeah, thanks for all your great questions tonight. Yeah, I think some of the guys alluded to earlier tonight, some of the biggest things you guys seem to struggle with is like approach anxiety or getting into conversation, etc. So yeah, those are the more mechanical things I was talking about. But yeah, when you do have the understanding of female psychology, that it really lays a foundation for how all of that stuff really works. And then in turn, you build the confidence to be able to communicate with women. The skills that we teach you make sense because you understand where that's coming from. So yeah, I mean, that's the best way I can answer this question.
Tess has done so many things that have impressed me massively. It's been a while since you did something that good, sincerely. If Nolan had asked me that question, I'd have said they've just got to learn to ask better questions so they can nail conversation, because nothing happens until you do that. Nothing happens until you do that.
Yeah, that's of course super important.
Slightly higher level, Tess is far more right than me. So beginners, you haven't been able to go out and just walk up to a girl and date her pick her up, sleep with her, then yeah, you better work on your questions, and probably touch and eye contact and a little bit of reading signals is very, very, and style is very important too. So yeah, I'm right in terms of just beginners getting somewhere, but in terms of just getting any sort of elevation, Tess has destroyed me. So yeah, thanks, Tess. That was amazing. That was truly amazing. Yeah, because like, I've got to get better with what I need to. Oh, get some fucking muscles, mate. I've got to get some muscles. I better buy a German car. And the thing I hear from everyone on YouTube is just, oh, you just got to do more approaches. You just got to do more approaches. You just got to do more approaches. I've trained a guy to get fucking threesomes with models and 4 girls in 4 days. Coached him. The guy couldn't even approach. He had no energy. He was on depression, anxiety medication before I coached him, but he's just had insane conversation skills, like probably better than me, I'm ashamed to say. That's one of the things I'm good at. So yeah, get the basic touch, eye contact, body language, body positioning, conversation, elite level conversation, date planning, style. Have I said reading signals? That's very important too. You got to get all to actually glue it all together. You need what Tess said. So yeah, if I was you guys, I'd watch that in a replay and say something wonderful about Tess. Anyway, how was that for a last minute rant and a big compliment to a wonderful employee and coach? That's all very sincere too. Thanks, Tess. Okay, well, I think unless someone's got the question of the night, was it Nolan?
Nolan, yeah.
Yeah, Nolan and Luca. I think Nolan might have pipped Luke for the best question. Stella used to ask good questions, but I scared her off with my whatever younger women content or something, or some horrible comment about female memories. Anyway, I think we'll sign off now. Can I actually do this thing? Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm hopeless. So yeah, I don't know how many are left now because I haven't looked and I've only got one screen. But if anyone wants to completely transform their life tomorrow, I won't be able to do the tech in time. Everyone will hang up. Could be you tomorrow. So I don't know. There might even be, I don't know. We put up a few this time. Oh yeah, thank you. And yeah, if you want more of these, and sincerely, it's big-headed, but the value we're giving you is just insane. You still need to actually take action and do it correctly, which we can't really give you over YouTube. But yeah, if you could like, subscribe, ring the bell. If you want to, particularly if you're not going to do some training, if you want to get better, the best thing you can do is share this stuff with your friends, because then at least they'll have some. The number one by far, Tess could put female psychology ahead, but we sort of taught everyone that. The number one determinant of your success with women after we've coached you is how many wings you met on our event. Yeah. Tall, handsome, rich, big dick, big muscles, ability to approach were all way before how many wings you had. So particularly if you don't want to do our coaching, if you start getting some of your friends, we'll love you, but yeah, you also love yourself and the girl you end up with. That's my rant for tonight. I'm getting really hungry. Anything you want to leave before we sign off, Tess?
Yeah, I think we do have a couple of spots available still for tomorrow. So the link is in the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Feel free to book in with me. I'd love to help you guys as much as I can. Yeah, and working one-on-one, we really figure out exactly what your actual issues are, not just talking generally about some of the stuff we've spoken about tonight. So I'd love to work with some of you guys one-on-one. And yeah, thanks again for coming. Thanks for all your great questions. It's been awesome, and look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Yeah, and for busy guys who make even a token amount of money, the value per minute you get from this, I think, is very high compared to nearly everything I've seen on YouTube. But yeah, the value you get from actually just approaching and going on a date with Tess, and then picking up weaknesses in your female psychology, which pretty much every guy has. Yeah, it really will change your life. It really sincerely will change your life if you do a half-assed job of implementing. But yes, I shall let you be. Thanks, Tess. You've been wonderful as usual, especially that last answer. And we'll see you on the next one. Again, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And if you have any suggestions of what you'd really love to do, I definitely pay attention to them. And finally, I keep saying finally, we're thinking of doing just a pure Q&A one. So who will come along to that? Question one. And who will ask a question to us in the first hour? Because you're like shy, approaching girls, and a bit of time goes by. Maybe you guys have had about 12 beers and you work up the courage to ask a question. So if we do a pure Q&A, anything, this was really good tonight. Who would come along? If you just go answer yes or no, that would be good. And I shall shut up now. Sorry?
Yeah. Got a couple of yeses coming through. So
that's great. So yeah, better not let this run too long after we've finished. Anyway, keep smiling and bye for now, as they used to say on some Aussie game show. Sale of the century. See you guys. Thanks for your support.
Bye.
Take it.